Chris.
Hello and welcome to The Worst Movie Ever Made, an experimental movie podcast designed with one thing in mind, to find the worst movie ever made. I'm your host, Chris Ackman. I'm joined by my co-host and fellow mad scientist, Rob Busey and Bob Hassick. Hey guys, how are you, and why are we doing this?
I'm great. So I'm gonna tell you about a goal I have in life. It ties into why I wasn't here last week, and kind of about the disappointments I have with this week. So my goal in life is like I'm a goal-oriented guy. I like getting things done. I like taking on new things and like learning and bettering myself. But also the end goal at the end of every day is to do nothing. Not in a depressing way, but like the luxury of time to do nothing equals the opportunity to have time to do something. This show's one of them. So like I had a few gigs I was taking on. My wife and I are gearing up for a move, and like my nothing time disappeared. So to our dismay, I couldn't make the show last week. We were packing. I had like training for a job and stuff. It was just too overwhelming, too much stuff to do. So much to my satisfaction, on Friday, I started watching Soldier with Kurt Russell for the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized the dream isn't do nothing. I would rather work in a coal mine and never have a spare moment if I'm going to spend my time doing shit like this. So, Bob, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Really doing all right. I was we missed it last week, even though it our banter may have said otherwise. I don't know where you may have heard the rumors that we have beef with you, so to speak.
Yeah.
You refer to me as a writer, so I'm happy about that. I actually felt pretty good about that.
True.
Not a very good one, but I mean, you referred to me as a writer, so like that's.
But yeah, I went on a movie binge over Thanksgiving because my son had the flu and my daughter was too busy with her friends, so we didn't really do Thanksgiving. I just watched a ton of movies, then I watched Soldier, which I'm gonna say we like Chris just enough to endure this choice.
Yeah.
Come on, it's perfect for the podcast.
Yeah.
It's not.
Great.
Oh my god, it's action.
It was great. And we're gonna have fun with this one, even
Russell's
though.
Jacked.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna fold in some Exorcist facts that you guys failed to bring up last week that I enjoyed, that I wanted to get my 2 cents in. So whenever I have nothing to say about this movie because it puts me at a lack for words, I'll throw in some Exorcist tidbits. How about that?
Yeah, there you go. I like that.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah.
Now, why don't you take us to your YouTube comments?
All right, new season, new bumpers. Let's do this. You know what? I don't care what the haters say. I think Catwoman was great. All right, I got some doozies here. So I'll start with the long ones and I'll end short. Let me just make the screen a little bigger so I can read it all. Okay. This movie is the definition of a hidden gem. It's criminally underrated, yet the story is solid. The action is entertaining as hell. It flows smoothly, has a great musical score, and the casting is excellent. An hour and a half of pure entertainment that feels just right. Not to mention it takes place in the Blade Runner universe, hence the Tannhauser Gate reference, the police car located in the camp, and the trash dumpers that are visually referenced in Blade Runner 2049. I genuinely like this movie, regardless of all those negative reviews. Next. The amount of emotion Kurt Russell conveys with just his eyes in this movie is insanity. Like when they tell him to leave, you can see the pain, the fear, and the sense of betrayal. He doesn't say anything, but he feels like a child who just lost everything because he made one mistake. Such a good movie. Haven't seen this movie in almost 20 years, and it's still one of the best movies I've ever seen. Next. Every soldier is a killing machine without fear, regret, or remorse, like Todd, but there's a human heart. The last one's read by someone who thinks they're a badass. A pacifist society that doesn't realize they need the Todds of the world.
We can make a whole episode just responding to those comments.
No,
You're
honestly,
a fucking loser. Yeah.
Should. We do appreciate the Todd in our life. Cousin Todd, friend of the pod, does give us a lot of material for our.
Keep the Steven Seagal things coming, man. Those are great.
Yeah, those are fun.
Honestly, so fun. All right, test number 1, the worst of its kind.
Jesus, watch your dreams, help me find a string that's the worst of its kind.
Cool.
Les Claypool.
I was going for Pinky in the Brain.
Yeah, I hear that. What Pinky in the brain. Unlawful entry with Kurt Russell and Ray Liotta.
Okay.
Saw it in the theater on a date.
What'd you think?
It was bad then. It's bad now.
Conceived your first child after watching it because it was so fucking great.
Yeah. Negative.
I mean, it got a 74.
It was not.
Quite surprising.
It was not with my current wife. What year is that? Like 90, 95 or something like that?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah,
Okay.
mid 90s though for sure.
It was a long time
Tell
ago.
just by the artwork.
Yeah.
Resident Evil, Mila Jovovich. I heard a rumor, Rob. I don't know if you heard this, but I heard she's from our area in Connecticut.
Yeah, Caitlin Jovovich, who I shouldn't be naming on the air. It's her cousin who I went to middle school with. Yeah.
Yeah, she is from the area. How about that?
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe she's a listener.
Yeah.
Find out. 35% on Resident Evil, the first one in 2002.
Yeah.
That's because it's not good. Kickboxer, we know that one well. JCVD, our buddy. 36%.
Okay.
We remember from last we did that. Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome with Gibson and Tina Turner.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's in control of Thunderdome, isn't she?
Something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
And Master Blaster is like a midget with wheels.
Yeah. Pretty badass, though.
That may be a good contender for this season, I think.
It's got an 81.
The first two Mad Maxes, that one sucked. That one sucked, but the first two Mad Maxes with Mel Gibson were great.
Yeah, they were good.
I really enjoyed the first one. That's all I've seen of the series until Fury Road, which I loved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great, yeah.
And The Last Boy Scout with Bruce Willis and Damon Wayans.
Okay.
Yeah.
46 there, so not even halfway to 100. Average of 54.4. You guys want to guess what Soldier got on Rotten Tomatoes?
12?
I'll go half for like a 27.
Great guess, Rob. But here's the funny thing about it. It's not rated by critics on Rotten Tomatoes. So it had a 25 critics or audience score, I think it was. So I split it in half and said 12.5. So Rob, effectively, you hit it right on the money.
Cool.
If you take that from 54.4%, you get a negative 41.9%.
Okay.
And it is worst of its kind. So a strong start to the season with Soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, it wasn't a bad thing I picked this movie, you see?
Yeah. Good precedent we're setting. Yeah.
Well, I already jotted that down, so let's throw it to test number 2. Get ready for another new bumper. Got a pitch.
And it's a little Celtic, too.
Now ain't that a pitch?
I'm going to go first because I didn't go last week.
Okay.
There once was a man named Kurt Russell who seemingly had paralyzed facial muscles. He was raised to feel fear and discipline he held dear, if only the script wasn't awful.
Wow.
Oh, I like
Nicely
it.
done.
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sure.
Kurt Russell was born and raised to kill. He's replaced because he no longer fits the bill. So he's dumped in a trash world where he can't get the girl, so he chokes the snake because she never will.
Oh, that's really good.
I like it.
All right. I wrote this to lose this week on purpose. There once was a guy named Chris with charm and wit that we can't resist. But then we watched the movie Soldier, though I would have rather yanked out a molar. Chris's choices aren't worth the Colonel's piss.
Wow. This is coming from the guy who what was that fucking horse movie? I don't even remember. I think
I'm self-aware to know that yes, that was a bad choice. But good for the pod.
I guess. So is this. So who wins? Bob
I like.
What?
I like.
Yeah. No. Okay.
Yeah, I like Chris's last two lines, so I'm going to go with Chris.
I'll go with Chris too.
You're just going with me because you insulted me.
And yes and no.
I'll take it though. What's the star grade?
4.5.
I was gonna go with solid 4, so the average would be 4.25.
2.5. Another strong score.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna jot that down as we throw it to our next new bumper in test number 3. The most offensive.
Mmm.
And I'll eat you. What was that again? And I'll eat you. That's what I thought you said. I'm offended.
Nice.
Of course, that is from what, Hard Target?
Yeah.
Yeah. JCVD.
Unbelievable.
Classic.
Need to stop using paper apparently because I can hear it through my microphone.
That's fine. It makes it sound official though. It's like when you're like a newscaster and you're like flipping through your reports.
Do one
A
of these.
newscaster from the 60s, yeah.
And you throw it at the end.
All right, well, let's get into what's offensive about this movie before you guys make fun of me any further.
All right. Cool.
I did pretty much all alliteration here, so enjoy.
Okay.
Number 1, Pig and Pitbull pit fights for pubescent promotion.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so if you couldn't hack it, if you couldn't watch, you're in trouble. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't as bad as the next one. Number 2, patricide for poor, outpaced preteen.
That's when they shot the kid, right?
Yeah, he's lagging behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's sneaking extra rations, I guess. And
Yeah.
they shoot him. They kill him.
So, Chris, I liked your alliteration, but I'm just going to write that down as child murder.
All right, that's fair.
Okay.
Cheesy uncharitable chain challenge.
Uncharitable.
Yeah, I mean, we're wasting
Yeah.
we're wasting a lot. I don't know. CH is tough.
That is
Yeah.
tough, but that was is that one like the offends your sensibilities? Because I agree, it was just very bizarre.
It was odd that they
Yeah.
had to fight at the top of a chain course.
Yeah, and some really odd chain setup too, like circles, and then some links, and then circles.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like when they're like setting up the training camp, like where'd you get those? Like, duh, chain storage. Like, you know?
Yeah, sure if you want them.
Yeah.
But that's not all that's offensive about it. Is that they clearly have new soldiers that outpace and outfight the old ones, and they decide to sacrifice 3 of them just to prove a point.
Yeah.
Really, almost 4 because the one guy's eye ripped out.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
the new guy.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really was a waste. You're right.
Okay, number 4. Sandra stretches. Sergeant surveys her scenery.
Totally. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that one.
He's staring at those tatters for sure.
Even that couldn't bring out any dialogue or emotion.
Oh, just a
Oh.
quick glance, and then he
Yeah.
realizes what he did. Number 5, no alliteration here. Hawkins. This is just funny to me. None
Yeah.
of us hold any animosity toward you. That's the quote. Now go die alone in the desert, I wrote. What do they expect him to do? Just
Yeah.
live on snakes?
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
totally like he just accepts it.
Like, all right. He follows orders well.
Yeah.
He does. Even if from someone you just met.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There's probably more, but the last one I wrote before I asked you for mentions is Extermination as exhibition.
Termination is
So
exhibition.
the new soldiers just decide to wipe out an entire colony of like scrappers because they want practice.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
horrifying.
Hmm.
Like I don't want to bring this up because it's probably catch-all, but I was quite offended that a ruthless born and bred killer of anything is supposed to be redeemed for some reason.
Yeah. This is a qualm of mine for sure.
Yeah,
Like,
this the whole
I feel like it fits in this test.
it's
Yeah,
unpacking
no, it
like
absolutely does.
how much training can you unpack in like 2 days time, 3 days time?
Yeah, I don't know how
yeah.
long he's with them.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, we're gonna in the catch-all. We're gonna have a very fun conversation about his battle record. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Yeah.
He's killed a person or two in his time, and for him to be, I mean, he killed a woman, right? Just to, oh no, that was in the training course, but still, the implication was that he would shoot through a woman to kill the enemy.
But he did. He did.
He actually.
Because
He
in the
did
montage, it showed the training, and then it showed him actually doing it, the same exact
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh,
And I was like, this guy's unredeemable at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
at
then-
that point, I agree.
And then it was proved by the end that he actually still was unredeemable. So I have something that was behind the scenes bad taste. Remember those snakes? You know the snakes.
Yes.
Apparently those actually were very poisonous. So they stitched their mouths so that the fangs could not inject anyone with poison.
Okay.
So I imagine that's would break the animal cruelty rules of these days.
Yeah,
Yes.
because I read at the end that no animal was harmed, but that's a lie.
Yeah, unless that's not harmed or whatever. But I read that, and if it's on the internet, it must be true, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's what they say. Can we just jot that down as stitching snakes?
Yes,
Snake stitching. Yes.
Yeah, that's messed up. These snakes did not get proper treatment. Sure.
No, they did not.
I mean, even the way that Kurt Russell handles them, I maybe it's a prop, but it certainly looks like a real snake.
And he teaches the kid to bash it with a heel of a boot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Snakes. They're just trying to bite people for no reason.
Which apparently he forgot his words when he was trying to teach the kid how to kill the snake. He just, decide the kid can't talk, so he can only understand not talking too. I don't know.
Right. It's a primitive instinct thing that he understands.
Yeah. Obviously, this movie made me very upset. I keep talking about it. So anyway, I'll let you move on.
No. I enjoy exploring this, and we have a little extra time because in test number 4, the worst dialogue, we're only doing the top 5. This one should be a lot of fun. Let's get into the worst dialogue.
It's the worst dialogue.
Yeah. Am I just playing them? Am I playing them out? Or what are we doing? We talking about them?
Yeah, just play number 5. Let's try it out. It's gonna be a clip, by the way. But 5. Riley.
5, and we're doing Riley. There we go.
What? Sir,
Riley?
we be issued weapons, sir.
No, Riley. Only soldiers get weapons.
Yes, sir.
You don't even have to salute anymore, Riley.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
Kind of messed up. There's a reason for it, but why is she so pissed at Riley? She's making fun of him. She's making fun of him there.
Also, why is Riley upset if he's born to follow orders, and the orders to no longer follow the orders? Isn't that just like him satisfying a command and being okay with it? The single tear down the cheek,
It's a paradox. He can't follow it. It's a paradox. I really do think this scene, not to give the movie too much credit, bingo card, but I think they wanted to plant the seed of why it was okay to nuke her at the end.
That's fair. Just make her like a bitch for no reason.
That almost went into most offensive. I did put it in the catch-all, but I think her name is Sloane, and I forget the other guy's name. I have it written down in the catch-all, but the other guy who didn't seem that evil to me, they're left with Commander Meekum die on the planet, and I'm not sure that either of them deserved it. So
yeah,
right.
All right, number 4. This one I'm going to do myself. It's Sandra, and I'm not going to do a Sandra because I won't get anywhere close. But
wait, Chris.
4. There it is. There's no F even. I'm going to have to redo that. Or. This is what happens when Chris makes bumpers. They're 2 seconds long and wrong still somehow. Number 4, Sandra. Guess you like the fighting. Must. You're a soldier. Okay, so if you haven't noticed yet, there's a through line here, and we're going to go to number 3. 3. That doesn't even have the TH either.
Keep this forever.
This one's called Fear.
Okay.
Sergeant Todd, what's it like? What's it like being a soldier? What do you think about? must think about something. What about feelings, then? You must feel something.
What about my perky tits?
Fear.
Fear.
Fear and discipline.
And discipline.
Yeah.
And fear. Yeah.
Have you guys picked up on the what's common about all three of these so far?
No.
The word soldier has been in every.
Yeah, they're dropping the title card and
Oh.
like it's like once again the
I
hot
missed it
tub
in this
time
one.
machine treatment. Like the
Right.
hot tub
Seriously.
time machine.
Every line of the movie, I think they started or ended with
Yeah.
just the word soldier.
That's true.
It is bad because she's like, what about feelings then? Like, what kind of
Yeah.
sentence is that?
yeah.
Pretty weird one. But then, of course, he does the fear and discipline thing, which like, that's supposed to make him the sensitive soldier, right? The guy this is the beginning, the first step toward redeemable, right? Because you feel terrible for him because he is vulnerable and afraid and blah blah blah.
No, he's
Something
just-
like that. Yeah.
He creates fear is what he does. I still don't buy any of this shit.
No, I'm with you, Bob.
Bob, he was plucked out of a fucking bassinet and then subjected to a lifetime of brutal training where other kids his age were shot in the head for not running fast enough.
No fear.
That's
That's why he survived so long.
Yeah.
I do do empathize a bit though with having literally no choice.
Here's a great. You guys, not that you want to watch this again, but it's right at the beginning when he's beating the other kid in the classroom. Remember that one scene when the two kids are going at it? If you look at the alphabet on the wall behind them, it's like A is for army, B is for battle.
Oh
C is
no,
for-
I missed that.
It's
I
fucking
love those
great.
details.
I missed
man.
that.
You
I normally
gotta-
catch those and I missed that.
I will try to screenshot that and post it so we can put it on the story.
Thank you for that. That's amazing. All right, I'm going to number 2. Where at the beginning? I can't start words apparently. Ooh. Number 2, Sandra again. She's talking though to Mace, not to Sergeant Todd, and she says, "There are words on his shoulder: Tannhauser Gate, Argentine Sector, Shanghai 2012." Mace says, "Sandra, Tannhauser Gate was a battle. A soldier."
Soldier.
Apparently,
Because that's
name
the
dropping.
movie we're talking about.
yeah, exactly. It's unbelievable. So, yeah, I think the names for the battles are pretty cheesy. I can't wait to get to the catch-all for that reason. But yeah, for now, very ham-fisted in the first act. You know, let's throw it to number 1. Are we doing a drum roll still? Yeah, this one's called
My Daddy.
Yeah, My Daddy.
I'm in Unit 703. 703, do you copy?
Growl? A growl?
Well, he didn't say the word growl. He said a throat noise, but I asked him to imitate it, and it sounded like growl to me.
We're up against a significant military presence here.
Well, let's send in the rest of the men.
Will we not? waiting for us. And fall for an ambush.
Colonel, my daddy always said, you want to insert a nail into a piece of wood. You don't do anything fancy or glamorous. Just take the damn hammer and hit the son of a bitch till it's in.
Where are they getting their intel from? They're a bunch of scavengers. They're turning mufflers into dinette sets, and they're just waiting there, ready to fucking kill us. Fucking time.
Isn't this the trash planet?
Yeah,
This is the trash planet. Yeah. Or they weren't sure that people existed. I love Gary Busey's extremely long-winded version of the nail on the head, basically.
Yeah.
Drive the nail in, but he's like, my daddy once said, if you have a hammer, then you're going to want to aim at the nail, and you're not going to want to be fancy about it. You're just going to want to hit it right there on the head. Make sure you drive it all the way into the board, because if you don't drive it all the way into the board, then maybe your sock can get snagged on it. That's what my daddy said.
I'm picturing his dad. I'm picturing his dad looking at the nail, saying, "Get in that wood, you son of a bitch."
It reminds me of
you get in that wood.
When Frasier gets that co-host, that lady, and she's like, my uncle always said, if the shoe don't fit, then it ain't your shoe.
Yeah,
it's reminding the folksy, the stupid folksy advice.
They do the Christmas parade together, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
He's so pissed because he was so happy to take
he pre-wrote banter he wanted to use, but she's just so good off the cuff that he couldn't read it.
Oh man, good episode.
Oh yeah.
All right, hey Rob, hit us with an ad read, would you?
Oh yeah, this is sweet. Today's episode of The Worst Movie Ever Made is brought to you by remembering all of the segments. Sure, mid-show grocery deliveries are important, but so is talking about the fucking acting in a podcast about movies. I may have slippery little hot dog fingers from time to time, but Jesus fucking Christ, how do you forget best acting? What the fuck are you guys eating? What was in the pea pod? Drugs? What kind of drugs? I'm not saying Chris is on drugs. I'm just a guy asking questions. Chris is on drugs.
Is that it?
I'm done.
Right. I am currently on drugs. I'm drinking beer.
Yeah.
I was drinking beer last week, and I was kind of, I don't know, frightened because someone was doing a shave and a haircut on my front door during The Exorcist.
I had to throw one sandbag in your direction. I had to do it.
I appreciate it. That was really funny, and I was also thinking I meant to say this last week, and if I didn't, fuck you, Rob. I hate you. Let's throw it to test number 5, the worst production.
No need to add non-scripts or budgets, because now it's time for the worst production.
Worst production. I wanted to go as factual as I could with this one. I don't want to go too long-winded, but here's the deal. The director wanted to film this in wide open environments. I'm just gonna say, if you want to write it down, Chris, setting. Okay. He wanted wide open settings, existing locations. He wanted to go on location and do that as much as possible. He didn't want to use studio sets. However, Kurt Russell wanted to bulk up. So he took so long to bulk up, which pushed the production schedule back. Then it was pushed back enough that El Nino hurricane caused such conditions they couldn't film anything outside. Wow. And then to make matters even worse, Kurt Russell had an injury that pushed this filming back even more. So there was no other option than to scale it back, picture and shooting inside the studio. And with all those limitations, the director said, compromise the entire look of the picture. And basically, they said the only time when he first arrived on the planet and walked through the abandoned spaceship, that's what he wanted the whole movie to look like. Instead, it looked like everything happened inside a studio. So I'll give it to the director for being self-aware of how he fucked up. But here's the funny thing about Kurt Russell breaking his ankle. You would think Kurt Russell broke his ankle during a stunt. But do you know how he broke his ankle?
Running to the craft service.
Oh, you're so close. He slipped on a prop cabbage.
No.
So they were worried he was going to sue because it was during a stunt, and here it wasn't during a stunt. He was on a break, and he just fell on a piece of prop. So he couldn't sue.
Prop cabbage.
How hot do you have to be coming in towards a prop cabbage to slip at it with such velocity?
Seriously.
So they had to film all his scenes where he's laying down or just sitting down during the time he was hurt.
It's really funny because I imagine that must have been in the kitchen scene where he cuts his fingers. So
yeah,
like
right,
actual injury, on film injury, all together at once.
Yeah,
Rob, I agree. How do you slip on a prop cabbage with?
This is Brandon Lee all over again.
So there was a lot to unpack in worst production, but really what the director says, it was the setting, and I'll just go with that, even though there's a lot more I could say.
But you're right, because in the way that I felt Spawn's universe was too small, I felt that way here too.
Yeah.
Just really felt claustrophobic for being a galaxy like traversing movie, or you're stuck on a trash planet within like a mile because the winds are so strong.
Yeah,
and the movie is supposed to be like a galaxy epic. So
yeah, you're in a vast wasteland, and it's just like
it was supposed to be in the same universe as Blade Runner, and there was supposed to be a tie-in and some kind of a sequel or what do they call it? I forget what they called it, but it wasn't a sequel, and it never came to pass. But yeah, that is a fact. What you read in the YouTube comments, it was supposed to be in the same universe as Blade Runner, which a movie, admittedly, I didn't like very much.
Wow. Okay.
That's just me.
You're in the minority there.
I'm a big Philip K. Dick fan, mostly his short sci-fi, but like I've not seen most of his adaptations on film. I've seen Minority Report. Like his writing's great. Like, he's really good for putting ordinary people in like ordinary, like he writes like beach bum books that tackle like really big, heavy, like philosophical topics. And they're very easy to read, but they're fun and they're like engaging. So I should probably watch Blade Runner. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but
I guess.
I like the new one too. It has at least cinematically, cinematography is insane.
Right. Everything I see clip wise from the new one looks pretty impressive, but I don't know.
It is absolutely impressive. Yeah,
I'm not
the
a
world they
sci-fi
built
guy.
is beautiful. Well, then no surprise there. Okay, test number 6. The worst acting. We're doing it this week.
That's this season's copyright claim. I'm calling it now.
I mean, it's beautiful, but I don't understand it. I think you said thespian.
There's a Bon Iver song, and the lyric is, "But once I knew I was not magnificent." And
okay.
My impersonation's actually dead on. He sings like that.
I'm sure it is. I'll have to cross-reference just to be sure.
The song's called Hollow Scene.
Hollow Scene. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 1. This one's called Down.
All right, down. Let's see.
Chris, doctors.
Oh, wait, time out. That's The Exorcist. My bad. We didn't left over from last week.
Get down here. Get down here! Get your ass down here on the double! Come on, double, down!
I love how he loses his voice at the end there.
Yeah.
Get your ass down here. Get down here. It's all in one breath, and then he's like, get down! Having such a hard time getting it out.
It makes you wonder. If that's the best take, then like I would love to see the outtakes. Like, you know when people always like upload different profile pictures and it's just a selfie, and like they do it, like change it constantly. And it's like, for each selfie that they think is profile picture worthy, there's like 300 of a nearly identical picture that looks like slightly worse on their camera roll.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. And that's Jason Isaacs too, accomplished actor. I mean, he's Lucius Malfoy. He's the bad guy in The Patriot.
Okay.
Sorry, Bob, if I just stole your thunder.
No, I don't even know that guy. All I know is, how did that character make it to that ranking? I just don't get it.
Right? Yeah. In the military. Because I don't feel like that necessarily means that he was born and raised a soldier, though. Is that where you're going?
John
No, he wasn't.
Waters? John Waters or Vincent Price? He looks kind of like a cross
Price,
between.
Yeah,
young Vincent Price. Yeah.
it looks a very much yeah, like John Waters, like half brother.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Divine
you
just
know,
in the
he,
background shitting on Kurt Russell.
no, but he's good. He's normally pretty good from what I've seen of him. And he's always the bad guy. He's one of those guys that are typecast.
Yeah, character guy.
Number 2, Not Nathan.
It's no good. I've lost too much blood. Why? It was a mistake. Nathan.
People! They spotted people! 2 civilians, unarmed. They killed both of them. They spotted smoke from some sort of camp.
Jesus Christ, a camp?
Excellent. This will be very good experience for the men. Let's see how they do.
If they're civilians, they need to be protected.
Whoever they are, they don't belong there. Officially, they're hostiles.
Three-man fire team only. Prepare to deploy.
Everybody, calm down. Calm down. I'm going to go out and talk to them. Those of you with weapons, prepare to defend us.
Those were the timestamps you gave me.
Yeah, no, it's not on you. It's on me. I'm just wondering why you made it go so long.
I thought Rob was getting back at us for not having no acting last week.
Yeah, he's just letting. Yeah, he slipped it in right before he played the fucking clip, the first one. All right, so something I want to do. I just had this idea, but if we have an on-screen death, we need to be really critical. I think because this is one of the movie focus points. If you have an on-screen death of an important character, it's that actor's opportunity to do it. We were talking, Bob and I, because Rob decided he didn't want to join us last week, about Burke being drunk, and how hard it is to be drunk. I feel like that's another one that we can highlight. Right? Drunk actors dying on screen. So I don't know how we're going to do that going forward, but this guy did a bad job dying on screen. He just did.
He did.
Go ahead, Bob.
I was just wondering if any of that part of the worst acting was the following line with the people.
I don't remember what I highlighted now. I hope that I meant to highlight that, but yeah, I don't know.
I agree. I'm sure dying is not easy. Honestly, I wasn't clear that he was dead.
That's a great quote.
Dying is not easy. That is. It sounds like something like
suicide is painless.
Yeah. Don't be spreading that. I want to be responsible.
It's true though that I did not know if he was dead in the movie. I wasn't 100% sure. I was waiting for some kind of announcement.
We're going to come back to this scene in the catch-all.
Yeah.
I have more to say about it. Right. But as far as his acting there, that's what was highlighted. But for our YouTube audience, and I hope that that's growing, you can go to see Kurt Russell's reaction to his death. It's not sadness, I'll tell you that. It's anger. And you can almost hear it if you go back another 2 minutes or whatever and listen to the clip again. You can hear when Kurt Russell is angry. Not because he makes a sound. He doesn't growl. He doesn't do any of that. But he just goes. his eyes just get like angry intense after he dies because he has feelings for Mace, a brother, even though he's trying to sleep with his wife.
Yeah.
All right, number 3. This one's called Sir.
How do you know they'll be back?
Because they're soldiers, sir.
Soldiers.
Like me.
Why are they doing this?
They're obeying orders, sir. It's their duty.
What?
Do you know how many there'll be?
17 more, sir.
Oh my God, you can't fight 17 on your own. You'll have to organize us. We're not cowards. We'll do as you tell us. We'll fight.
No.
Why not?
Soldiers deserve soldiers, sir.
But one soldier against 17. What are you gonna do?
I'm going to kill them all, sir.
Had such opportunity to be such a that's a badass line in the right context.
Yes,
like,
it
what are you
is.
gonna do? Like, I'm gonna fucking kill them all. Like,
I'm
just
gonna kill them all, sir.
It would have been better if he said, "I'm going to kill them, and then I'm going to eat them."
And then I'm gonna fuck them, and then I'm gonna kill them, and then I'm gonna eat them, and then I'm gonna fuck them again.
That should be a new game. Kill, eat, or fuck.
Yes. I'm not gonna go there.
That should, we should definitely make that video with the 3 of us.
Yeah, we should.
With just Muppets as the subjects.
Yeah.
17 more. How does he know there's 17 more?
Because he's a soldier.
You know, like I've killed 2, so I know there's always 19 on a reconnaissance mission like this.
It wasn't on film, but it was implied off screen. He scooped up some dirt with his fingers, like rubbed it on his gums, and he smelled 17 sets of footprints.
Oh, okay. So it was like Commando when Schwarzenegger could smell them coming upwind.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought Connie Nielsen, who is in Gladiator and does a great job there as the frightened wife of Commodus, Joaquin Phoenix character. She does a great job in that movie. She does not do a great job with this scene she was given here. I don't know if it's direction or if it's just her having an off day, but she didn't sell it for me.
Yeah.
Number 4. This one's called Panic.
Can any of you men hear me?
Your men are obsolete.
Try number 1. No, I already tried number 1. I can't get either one of these.
This is bad, real bad. We don't know what we're up against. How many?
Couldn't even get figures on enemy troops.
Couldn't even get any estimates. We're sitting ducks here. I mean, there could be a couple of divisions out there.
We don't
more.
even have the weapons to arm the old soldiers.
Recrimination, Lieutenant.
Because if that is a recrimination, I will have you court-martialed.
No,
All right,
sir,
don't panic.
not at all.
Don't panic.
I am not panicking.
Said panic.
Right.
Yeah, that's the whole. They have no idea how to respond to what happened. Right, they're a bunch of higher ups in the military, and they don't know what to do. Apparently, they are panicking. That's the idea behind the clip is that they're all, but the frantic nature of the quick conversation shows the flaw in the dialogue, but also they're not doing a very good job interacting like people would. In my opinion.
No, especially not trained military officers.
Yeah, for real. They sound like people who just witnessed something horrible out their window, and it's like a family trying to figure out they should call the police or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So with that terrible acting out of the way, we're going to throw it now to fact or no fact.
Bob is a liar. He will lie to confuse us, but he will also mix lies with the truth to attack us. His attack is psychological and powerful.
All right.
Yes, it is.
Hooray, I got the longest bumper.
Yeah, well, you haven't heard mine yet.
Oh, that's right.
Bob wins by 2 seconds, actually. Go on.
I'm so happy that that we all contributed bumpers. It's my favorite part of the episode.
Yes.
So I called this fact or no fact soldier because because Kurt Russell doesn't speak in most of the movie. It's a so here's a fact to throw in before the contest. He was in 85% of the movie, and he said a total of 104 words.
Wow.
Jesus.
And probably 55 of those was the word soldier.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
It was just like when you played one of those scenes with him talking back and forth, like, sir, this, sir, that. I'm like, okay, that's half the dialogue of the entire movie right there.
Yeah, for real.
All right, so we're looking for the fact. I had about 4 really interesting facts that I've already spoiled through the episode that I had to whittle down to the one that I was going to use in the contest. So here it is. Pick out the fact out of these. First one, the pee pants scene near the end used actual pee from the actor. All right.
Okay.
Okay. The big military vehicles?
Yeah.
They filmed them next to 4 feet tall people to make them look that much larger.
Okay.
All right. Okay. The young boy who was mute. They actually wrote him as a mute to avoid paying another actor union acting salary. Okay. Speaking of salaries, Kurt Russell's salary was half of the movie's box office gross. And lastly, the movie was such a big hit in the UK, a sequel was briefly considered, but no studio would actually do it. All right, there they are. Starting with pee pants.
So, I can't think of any practical reason why they would use real piss. Because,
can you write practical piss in the write-up?
Yes, please.
Yes.
That tickled me. So
practical piss. Got it. So I'm gonna cross that off. I'm gonna cross off the little people one because there's no delicate way to say this.
Can tell.
Little people are properly proportioned compared to like normies, I guess, and
I knew that's where you were going.
So,
I wish this was most offensive so we could write it off.
Because the hands, like,
No, Rob.
Normies.
They couldn't possibly hold those guns.
you need a bump stock for like your finger to reach the tree.
This is bad. Okay. This is bad. Let's get off of the subject immediately.
Mute Boy was written as a way to avoid union dues. I mean, I don't know what the rules mean, but like, if you're saying like it having a spoken line makes you like more able or scalable,
it actually puts you in the union and it means you have to get paid more.
Okay. Kurt Russell.
I learned that from being an extra.
Okay. Kurt Russell's salary is believable because he was doing all these weird like grindhouse like action movies around then, so he was in demand. Makes sense. And I don't think anybody considered a sequel because like even critics didn't fucking score it when it came out. I'm gonna go with number 3, the Mute Boy. Mute Boy was written as mute to avoid union dues, is the fact.
I agree, but increase our chances of going elsewhere. I just don't know where. And I was wondering if Universal Soldier with JCVD and Dolph Lundgren had anything to do with this.
What year did that come out?
Well, that became a franchise of its own, and I was wondering if it had any ties to this.
Oh man, I didn't find that in my writing or reading anywhere.
So then maybe not. I just always assumed because they are trained the same way. It's just a ripoff if it's not a sequel. All right. Well, anyway, I'm gonna take a look here what we have because I want to go with number 3. I do like that. Pee pants. Yeah, I can't understand why they would not just pour apple juice down his jeans or something.
Yeah.
I agree that you'd probably be able to tell that they were not full-scale people.
Full scale. That's so much better than normie.
Fuck, that one's gonna. That's gonna be hard to recover from.
The worst movie ever made.com. Shoot us an email.
They were bottom heavy.
Leverage.
Yep, they didn't look. All right. Anyway, Kurt taking half of the box gross is believable because they had no idea what it was going to gross. And then a hit in the UK. I don't know why would that be. Really just want to go with 3, but I'll go with number 4. Kurt took a salary half of the gross. The box gross.
All right, I'm going to popcorn around these answers. First of all, the movie wasn't even released in the UK except for straight to video because it was so bad and they didn't think it would do well. So I don't know if the UK liked it because I don't think anyone even saw it over there. So that good call on not picking that one. The PP pants, that was pineapple juice. However,
pineapple juice.
That was improvised right before they decided to put the pineapple juice down the pants. They were like, hey, how about he pees his pants? And then they quickly got pineapple juice and they did that. So that was the actor who actually picked that scene. I thought you'd find that interesting.
On you, Jason Isaacs.
Kurt's salary was actually almost double the box office gross.
Good God. So I'll take a little celebration lap for that.
Not half, double.
No, double. Good God.
Wow.
Yeah, that means they didn't make enough money to pay his salary at the box office.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
okay, does Rob win or?
I want the opposite. Rob does not win.
Oh.
I don't know why they cast the boy as mute. I just made that up because I learned that fact from acting myself. I did not say they were little people. I said they were 4 foot tall people.
Well, I mean,
potato, put little person.
You're like, no normie is 4 feet tall.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
No.
Okay, so they just found
they use 4 foot tall people in the scenes with the large military vehicles to make the machines look more menacing. That's a fact.
Okay. Well, that explains the regalia, the ridiculous armor that they're wearing. Yeah, and all that shit we were talking to.
I do love the discussion. I almost predicted that when I was looking through all my facts that I first wrote down. I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be fodder for some good shit.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't hand this to Rob and Chris to run with.
This just shows you I have faith. Like I said earlier, dying is easy. Comedy is hard.
That's true.
I was going to call that misplaced faith also. Yeah. But, all right, hey, what do you guys say about throwing it to the catch-all? Because I've got quite a bit here.
Sure.
If you've caught one, you've caught them all. Welcome to the catch-all.
Let me quickly get into South Park reference from the Exorcist episode. You know when they're doing all the testing on Reagan and she's like they're doing all the machines they're wearing? Remember on South Park?
I do.
Remember on South Park when Cartman they're all pretending Cartman's dead, they're ignoring him, so Cartman thinks he's dead, and Butters he's not in on this, so he sees Cartman and thinks it's a ghost and he's being haunted. So they bring him into a very similar lab, and they pull him on this thing where they stretch him out on all fours like a dog, and what looks like one of those red punching bags on a stick is going towards his ass. And then it cuts to the doctors going, whatever traumatized that boy, we're gonna find it. And it cuts back to Butters speaking of fucking shook like a fucking cement mixer or something.
Yeah, he's yeah, I specifically remember that scene. It's horrifying. I think it is a callback to The Exorcist, so good call. All right, to start the catch-all. Don't have crying babies in your movie. I know I'm just being a little bitch here, but I just don't want to hear it. I hate it every time.
I will add that to I've been listening to a lot of Blippi in the car. No fire truck sounds, no fucking fire truck or cop car sounds in the song. Yeah.
Oh, agreed. Oh, I hated that when the kids were little.
Yeah.
Agreed. 12-year-old Todd, dead ringer for Kurt Russell, I thought. You mentioned him before.
Yeah.
Oh, it was his son.
Oh, no kidding. How about that?
I left that out of the facts on purpose because Chris got so mad when the director's sister was in Hackers.
I probably would have fucking gotten that though, because I did think he looked just like him.
They looked uncanny. It's the eyes are a little close to the nose.
Yeah, that's fair. People do have that. I mean,
that was his actual son.
Russell is a handsome man. I get it. Yeah, I thought that kid looked just like him. I was impressed. I thought that was just casting, like off the street in LA or something.
Yeah.
We haven't said yet, but Gary Busey.
Mm-hmm. Yay!
The reason I emphasize is because he's the entire reason that we did Soldier, not because Chris picked Soldier out of the blue, Bob. Because we wanted to do a Gary Busey movie, so Chris was like, "Hey, how about Gary Busey's sort of supporting role in Soldier?"
Yeah. He might have been the best actor in the movie.
Yeah.
Man, that's true. I hate to say it, but you might be
I know.
right.
It was not easy to say. I threw up a little bit.
Well, speaking of Gary Busey, he played Church, and Church's dad also made up the "if it ain't broke, don't fix it" saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do now that we're down to 10. If I hate lines of dialogue, I'm just going to throw them in here. All right, here's some tropes for you. A little trope section. The one village asshole. Like, Kurt Russell is blending in, and he's eating his lunch, and then some guy's like, "Why'd you get kicked out of the military? What happened?"
Yeah.
And he turns out to be an asshole the whole way through until, like, he asks the sergeant if he needs help. And then there's supposed to be a little comedy moment where he's like, "You need help?" And he's like, and clicks, like, his gun, and the guy's like, "Okay, got it." Right, so this is going to be something that we probably reference again, but brain training versus body training. That's kind of what they're setting up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The trope guy beats up everybody.
Yes.
Multiple sons. I don't mean like you're the dad of. I mean, look into the sky like Star Wars, and there's more than one son. What a novel concept.
Yeah.
It's a desert, so Egypt-y music.
That should be most
doing
offensive.
the Locrian mode. Yep.
I think we talked about it in Cyborg. He goes into like the street colony where they're making like Thai style food, so they put up like Egypt music, and it's totally wrong. Yeah, exactly. I've lost too much blood. How do people know when they've lost too much blood to survive? Because I'm not sure that I would know.
No, it's that, and like, because like it's a 1-to-1 experience. Like, if that happens, if you lose enough blood to die, you only experience that once. It's like having a heart attack. Like, no one goes, "I think I'm having a heart attack," because they've never had one before.
Right.
You just go, I don't feel good, and then you fall over because you don't know what's happening to you.
It's a little bit like when people will have a dream where they die, and if they die in the dream, they die in real life. I always hated that as a kid because I said to myself, if you died in your dream and you died in real life, then how did you tell anyone?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But anyway.
Not to, I kind of wanted to stick on that bleeding to death issue. The guy had his eye gouged out in that one scene, and then has to go back to like standing in formation. I never had my eye gouged out, but I imagine a lot of blood would be flowing out of his face.
Yeah,
I imagine so too. Yeah, I mean,
you ever,
in Hostel,
bang your head on the coffee table, and you like it's a tiny scratch, and like it bleeds for like a day and a half because like it's just like, you know.
Yeah.
Yes, I have gotten frustrated enough to bang my head on my own coffee table a number of times.
Watching this movie, actually.
Right.
There was rumor that they were going to release, like, if they made a sequel or if they wrote it differently, that these guys were all replicants, like in what's that movie called? I keep forgetting the one.
Pluto Nash. All the robots look the same.
You're similar. No.
Star Wars Episode 2, The Clone Wars.
Jesus Christ! Why can't I think of it? Oh yeah, the 2049. What's the? They made a sequel, Blade Runner. Yeah, in Blade Runner, the whole idea is replicants can't be told apart from humans, and that's what the soldiers actually were.
That's a Battlestar Galactica thing too with the Cylons.
It's a trope. Yeah,
it is a trope. Yeah.
Speaking of which, large needle and recovery pills when Kane, who is like in his tank, gets knocked over. he does the Predator, where he like is able to revive himself by sticking this giant needle into his arm and popping a couple.
That was so great.
Yeah.
Just gacks the fuck out on like speed and amphetamine.
The final showdown.
Mhm.
Training. There's explosions. It's like
No weapons.
No weapons, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, toward the end of the fight, they kind of consider using weapons.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell ends up using a helicopter blade to win the fight.
Which he can move no problem.
No issue. Well, did you see how jacked he got?
Yeah, he did get pretty jacked.
But even though he slipped on that cabbage and went full Hurt Russell, he still was able to. That helicopter blade.
I know I've been going hard for like Fast and Furious movies off air in our conversations, but there's in like the 7th or 8th one, Dwayne Johnson. There's a helicopter like gunner, and the helicopter crashes, and he picks up the Gatling gun from the helicopter, which is like a 5-ton gun. And he just picks it up over his shoulder, and he's just blasting people effortlessly. It's fucking amazing.
I'm not surprised. You know why? Because those movies suck.
They're so great. They're so fucking. Like, you can't watch them critically. You just need to like let them happen to you, and they're good.
I can't watch them.
No, I've never seen one, and I'm afraid you're going to make me watch one.
It's impressive. It's.
I too fear that
the
we're going
stunts
to have
are
to
impressive.
watch fucking Tokyo Drift or something.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Bad guy. Hey, Bob, check this out. Bad guy go pee-pee in pants as a trope. I also wrote pee-pee.
Nice.
Yeah, we're adults on a very adult podcast, and we both wrote pee-pee.
Yep.
Lastly, for me on tropes, fire in space.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good call.
I don't get it. Like, that's not possible. So.
Yeah, I've got a trope for you too. These new guys are better and new and improved in every way, but you forgot to give them like the practical logic that knowing when they're outnumbered and needing to strategize and cover back. Like it's like the old guys, like they're weaker but they're smarter because they were brought up with the old guard. That whole thing.
I don't know if it's a trope or just if this is just a bad writing. But the kid just immediately has his dad replaced. He's like, "Yeah, how about this guy?" And reaches up to. That could be
it's like a volcano. Like immediately, like they're gonna go fishing and get a tasty ice cream cone after all this.
Don't get any mustard on that jacket now. Come on. Todd all right, so Bob, to your point, Todd does get one over on Kane by taking his eye. So it's a way of saying that Todd is the best soldier because he was actually able to harm Kane, the new soldier. Blah blah blah.
And he took someone's wife too.
Yeah, he did. That snake, Todd. Tons of room for more waste in the disposal ship. Did that.
Yeah.
A trip to the waste disposal pit on a different planet. Pack that thing up. There's only dead bodies in there. Who cares?
What about being knocked out and waking up completely unaware of your surroundings and going like, "Oh my god, I'm in a trash compactor and it's gonna go in 3 seconds. Better start running out."
Yeah, that's kind of a crazy situation to find yourself in. Sorry, I have to turn off this monitor or else it's gonna just keep beeping.
Honestly, I woke up this morning for work, not realizing what that was. And I've only been off for a few days, and I woke up like, why is my alarm going off? What is that noise? So I can. So I can only
good for you getting
waking up.
Yeah.
Good for you getting that lost.
Yeah.
I wish. All right. This is so dumb. I almost didn't write it down. But the flask that she gives him medicine through has 2 poor spouts. Is that just like future, or does that not make any sense?
Future spouts, I like it.
Future spouts, yeah.
Why a second poor spout? Not like right where the first one is. You know, they're just like
Is it like when
2
you
heart chambers.
Is it like a can of juicy juice where you gotta like pop it on both sides so the air can go through the can?
No.
Okay. I'm just spitballing here.
That counts as giving that counts as giving too much credit.
Yeah.
Again, double click that bingo card.
Yeah.
Nathan can't speak. I mean, he was bit by a snake, so he can't.
Yeah.
Thank goodness Todd was there the time that Jimmy nearly fed himself to the evil hamster wheel in the desert.
Yeah.
It's a really fortunate thing that they happen to have a soldier for those couple days.
Yeah.
Montage to reuse footage.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Just blew like a solid 3 minutes. They were like, we need 3 more minutes. Yeah. What are we going to do? We'll put a montage in the middle of the movie of Kurt Russell not learning anything or not doing anything new. We'll just reuse the footage that we've already shot and put some chick going in the background, and we'll count that as moving or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
12 years off Earth, and these people have reverted to using Irish music. Christmas.
I never. Yeah, you're like one generation removed. There's no oral history. There's no people telling you that like Milli Vanilli was a thing 7 years ago. Like there's nothing. There's no context whatsoever of the old world. Quickly,
it's been 12 years, and they're like using a fiddle to do like Gangs in New York style music.
Yeah.
I love how they're basically wearing whatever trash they find, yet they can piece together a Santa Claus suit with beard.
And a fiddle.
Yeah, like if it's mostly military dumping, do they have like a fiddle division? I guess like the fife and drum band. Like,
find a harmonica. We'll patch it back together.
I thought it was so great. And it got eaten up on my trailer because my text covered it, having the little tiny gift on Kurt Russell's knee as they panned up his body.
Yeah.
Like somebody gave him a gift.
That himself.
And he refused to open it.
It's just like covered in dirt because he couldn't think about it. Like, wrap it up. Just put it in the ground and like shove dirt over it and then picked it up to give to somebody. This movie has a lot of stuff to say about PTSD. And I'm not belittling that at all. It's just the truth. There,
the one thing I thought they did well in that is when like the guy was giving him the scarf, and then like he goes back into like the recess of his imagination, and then it just cuts to him just choking the fucking guy. He's like, scarf, scarf.
And that giant like gear that they have grinding is about to eat him basically.
Yeah.
Second time Jimmy's almost killed by machinery that's totally unnecessary.
Yeah.
Yep. That's true.
Mace says, Sergeant, you're our friend. Okay, so this is when Hawkins is like, you have to go out in the desert and survive now.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Mace feels compelled to explain further, and he says, Sergeant, you're our friend. It's just... the line ends there. He doesn't explain any further.
They couldn't explain it, yeah.
Snake in the room. It's lesson time, Bob.
Yeah.
By the way, rampant, poisonous, malicious serpent population.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit of them.
Yeah, for real. Take the soldiers far away and dump them. We don't want any questions. All right, let's go practice murder on that same planet.
Yeah.
The entire planet, and they land on Todd and Mace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true.
Tanks, guns, armor, all look super dumb.
Yep.
Really bad.
Experience wins over brawn, Rob, to your point.
Yep.
How long was Todd hiding underwater, and would his machine gun still work?
I don't know.
Oh, he was under there forever.
Yeah. I always, when it comes to the whole gun thing, I always think of The Rock when like Nicolas Cage comes out and like Sean Connery, like, what do you got, a water pistol? And he like pops the clip and he's like, yeah, something like that, So whatever they did in that movie, I'm gonna agree with.
These new soldiers suck.
Oh yeah, they really do.
They're terrible.
They're really bad.
And the acting was really bad because when they're in full uniform with the helmets and the thing, you can't see their faces.
Yeah,
they're acting very frightened. And when you saw them in training, they looked very like stoic and like nothing scares them. So it was
be frightened.
Poor transfer.
Agreed. They love the rocket straight out of the camera, like straight onto the camera. The rocket shoots out of the fucking.
Oh yeah,
straight out of the camera. I did that before. Sorry about the coffee. Kane, the ultimate bad guy, is in the tank for most of the battle.
Yeah,
Seems like a poor choice.
Especially because he has bad depth perception. He's the one driving.
He's the one driving. He's the only soldier with one eye. And he's
just going. He's going in circles,
like a duck with one leg.
Yeah.
Where's their electricity coming from? I wanted to know. Even if they have generators, why would they waste so much energy on a Carnival sign?
Yeah.
They have that thing plugged in. It's not even upright. It's just in the background when Kurt Russell and the guy Kane are fighting. I don't understand why they would bother plugging that thing in.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up because that was hilarious. Now that you mention it.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we're gonna go see if there's any civilization we can wipe out. Whoa, look at that! It says welcome. Bright lights right here.
Just
Carnival sign.
Emaciated dude, like on a exercise bike, just keeping the lights on, just pedaling tirelessly to death.
That's awesome.
Like Christian Bale and the Machinist.
Yeah. Yeah, the skin and bones.
A double-handed axe handle punch from Russell that looked ineffective to me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I feel like if you put your hands together like this when you swing them up, there's too much like air in between them or something. But that's not actually going to hurt as bad as just a closed fist.
Yeah, I hear I'm not a fighter, I'm a lover, but I heard the best way to impact somebody is that you have like a roll of quarters or a cigarette lighter in your knuckles and then punch because your knuckles
kind of acts like
there's too much give if you do this. There's too many open holes, you know.
Well, I work with a MMA mixed martial artist. His name is Jake at Thimble, so I'm gonna ask him right after he hears me ask on the pod. I'm gonna ask him.
Yeah.
Explosion behind Victoria's Todd. Poster trope. Really kills Kane, and then he stands up and he walks away from the battle, and just just like lightning in a horror movie at the exact moment, you know.
Yep.
If Sergeant Todd is a sergeant, then he can give other soldiers commands, which means that he must have some autonomy, which is a bit of a conflict with the main narrative.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
They should not be promoted unless they can think for themselves, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I went over that. Terrible planet killer explosion. That giant bomb.
That was really cheap.
Yeah.
And Bob, here you go. I'm calling back to if Todd doesn't talk, then don't make another character, Nathan, who doesn't talk.
Yeah.
There's enough not talking at this point. We don't need another not talker, you know. Speaking of talking, let's talk battle record. I've only got 2 more things, but this one's going to be a little beefy. I'm going to try to get through it quick because I know we're running close to long.
Is this the unconfirmed versus confirmed?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
In its entirety.
Okay.
There is no record of the Moscow incident because it's mentioned first, but not again when we go through the computer scanner of his record. Confirmed kills, unconfirmed kills. The War of 6 Cities. 45 confirmed to 75 unconfirmed. Argentine Moons, 24 to 48. Saudi campaign, 57-85. Battle of Tannhauser Gate, 29-37. Montana insurrection. There was a insurrection in Montana to take over the local Montana government, I suppose. 30 to 35. So he had 35 unconfirmed kills of United States citizens. The Montana insurrection. The Bolivian coup of 2015. I don't remember that. 48 to 50. Also, I don't remember the Battle of Shanghai in 2012. 73 to 88. I mean, there are a lot of people in China, so maybe that explains why he might have.
Maybe it was like another Tiananmen Square. We're not supposed to know about it. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I love this one. The Shoulder of Orion.
Okay.
Does that mean that we traveled to one of the stars that represent Orion's shoulders? I don't even know.
Yes.
Only 24 confirmed kills there, with 31 remaining a mystery. Nibian Moon Campaign, 31 confirmed kills, 65 unconfirmed. Antares Maelstrom War. Whatever that is, he used his brain to kill 48 people, and he might have killed 60 more. And lastly, Perdition's Flames War, 58 and 93. Total of 467 confirmed kills, 667 unconfirmed, for a total of 1,134 total kills, over 100 bodies per battle, and he's redeemable.
So are they comparing like direct headshots to like lobbing a grenade into a school bus?
I don't know. I don't know how they. How do you consider an unconfirmed kill?
Like that bus seats 40 and it looked pretty full and the whole thing blew up. So like we're just gonna say, like, you know what I mean? Like, is that what they're doing?
I think
yes.
so.
I feel like the number of unconfirmed kills should be in the tens, not in the singles.
Yeah.
It feels like you've confirmed them if you know exactly how many are unconfirmed.
Yeah.
Like how do you know that? It's totally ridiculous.
Oh, Chris, you might love this. You might hate this.
Okay.
The names of all those battles, every one of them was a reference either to one of the director's past movies or a Kurt Russell past movie.
Oh, okay.
No kidding.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It honestly, the amount of references in this movie to past projects make me start thinking I could write a movie.
Yeah, no kidding.
I think they did that to like, that's probably in their pitch. Like, if we make it really self-referential and like, you know, people nudge each other on the elbow and be like, hey, that's like that thing we saw.
Do you see, this is my generation. Maybe you guys watched it too. Do you remember the Looney Tunes cartoon with the little guy from Mars? The little Martian?
Marvin Martian?
And he had a gun and he was like, it's my something or other space modulator. It was that thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the gun that Kurt Russell uses earlier in the movie, they actually listed it, and it was that name, that exact name of the gun.
Space modulator.
It was, I guess, it was like an SM, but the beginning part was the exact line from that I can't recall from the cartoon.
Okay,
no kidding. How about that?
I like that, but I don't like that because it was in this movie.
Yeah, for real.
Here.
All right, last one. This is a clip. This one, God help us. Once again, for our YouTube audience, Hawkins gets hit by a fucking rocket and flies like, I don't know, 70 feet into the colony. Like, just the fact that they track her body falling backwards after she gets hit by the rocket, just there's something super funny about it.
The legs flapping, yeah.
You guys want to mention anything before we throw it to the alternate ending and tie this bad boy up?
I've got no words.
Yeah.
Okay, Rob's alternate ending.
Rob's alternate ending. Oh yeah.
First bumper.
Funny you brought up depth perception, Bob, because I was thinking at the academy when they're testing the old guard versus the new guard, if they all did like a oiled up shirtless volleyball montage instead, a la Top Gun. And then, you know, Kurt Russell rips the guy's eye off, that fucks his depth perception, and then, you know, the old guys win. They have better strategy. They are oiled better. They were more tactile.
Yeah, they're playing eyeball.
Yeah. And then they just...
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and then they just saw the heads off of all the new guys and dump them on the garbage planet, and then all the scavengers just eat them.
As they should.
Yeah.
After they fuck them.
Fuck them, eat them, or kill them.
Yeah, they see a pile of bodies and they go, "Are we gonna kill, eat, or fuck?"
Well, they're already dead, so we're gonna fuck them or we're gonna eat them.
Yeah. It's a bad credit names. Is that where we're at?
Yeah, let's do that.
bad credit names like
I'm Harvey Manfredson.
Yep.
How psyched are you that I knew the reference?
Oh my god, I knew you would.
I fucking love that movie. I'm gonna leave it a mystery.
Okay.
If you're in the know, you're in the know. You know what movie that's from.
Yeah.
I was part of the
bad
group
credit
chat,
names.
so yeah.
Yeah, so Rob knows.
Yeah, I didn't though.
Mace
But now
Mace is played by a guy named Sean Pertwee.
okay.
It's kind of funny. It's only he's first because it's not that funny, but Pertwee is kind of a bad first name.
Yeah.
Or last name rather. KK Dodds.
Okay.
Kind of a cool
Okay.
name.
Yeah.
David Webb Peoples.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
That's
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Knock on wood. Clay Peeny.
Nice.
You got a dreidel down there, I guess. I like I like James Quaintance.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Quaintance. It's like,
My friend Jim is my James acquaintance, you know.
yeah, exactly. Say acquaintance. That's for sure. We've done this one before, I know it, but I can not go without mentioning Mick Cuckers. Probably like the 8th time.
Yeah, I think I was comparing Russell to Swayze, and I want to say I heard that name in the crew on like Roadhouse.
For sure. He was definitely on the set. Mick Cuckers was at Roadhouse.
McCuckers.
I don't know which one wins the day here. I'm gonna say the winner first because I don't think I think it's a return customer. Mick Zicker.
Mick Zicker, yep.
That sounds
Zicker.
familiar.
And it's Principal Mick on Beavis and Butthead. He had Principal Mick Vicker, who they always called Principal Mick Dicker.
But by the way, the new season's actually really good.
I gotta check it out.
It is good. All right, so the winner then is this is a person trying to get a girlfriend at some point in middle school, let's say. His name is Michael Chiklis.
Yeah.
He's got to make it.
Super famous guy too.
He?
Yeah, that was the guy who played Santa Claus. The one who
Jimmy.
Yeah, Michael Chiklis. He's super famous.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he did well with the female son. So
yeah,
he shouldn't have been the winner.
He did better than Clay Peeny.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely did.
Yeah.
All right. Let's throw it to the movie comparison.
Time to compare the movies. Time to compare the movies.
I like it.
It is my unadulterated voice.
Is that you pitched up like 2 octaves?
To compare the movies.
No,
Yeah,
it's
I did that
you.
one.
Okay. Never mind.
No
comparison, because, yeah.
We're not going to compare it. I'll just give you the results. Negative 41.9 and worse. I win the pitch with a 4.25. Offense. It's pretty offensive. Should we write pretty?
Pretty.
You had me at child murder.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Dialogue. I just wrote soldier.
Soldier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Production setting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Acting. Pretty lame.
Yeah. Weak.
Lame,
Weak
not
sauce.
the worst.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
Weak sauce is good. I'll slash weak sauce. Okay. That's what we've got. No demerits unless you guys have any.
It's.
I can't think of one.
It had every element it needed to be a good movie, but it wasn't. Pacing, troubled background, redemption arc, like they had everything to make like a good like summer blockbuster at least. And
how about had promise?
Had promise. I like that.
The worst movie ever made.com. I wrote down push the email because I'm really hoping that somebody emails us. sometime.
I got an email from you saying "fuck both of us" earlier today, something like that.
Yeah, that's true. You see, we read it on air. I knew we would.
Yeah. On one episode, say probably by the end of the season, some foreshadowing. We are getting YouTube comments now. I'm gonna wait till we have like a sizable amount, and maybe for the finale, I'll just read them all because we don't have a ton, but like we'll have like a nice handful by the end of the season. So do that.
True. All right. Well, you guys get in your last word, and then come back to me real quick before we end. I have one more thing to say.
All right, my last word: $20 million. That's how much Kurt Russell got paid.
Good Lord.
The movie made 14.
Okay.
Next week we will have a guest, Zeke the Chump on TikTok. Wait to have you on. Looking forward to it. We are going to have a really fun time next week when we do Ice Pirates.
Okay.
I'm gonna have flashbacks to my youth.
This is his idea, so
I've never heard of it.
We're gonna have to lay into him if it's bad.
It's
okay.
Fucking weird.
It's what we do to our guests. If it's not right for the podcast, we're gonna let you know, Zeke.
Yeah.
No pressure. It's already in writing.
All right,
cool.
The worst movie ever made.com. I'm doing the theme song and post, so here comes the title card. Chris.